So now that we have our folders organized in our OneDrive, let's go ahead and go through the process of uploading a file that we may already have that we want our students to work on. And let's also look at how we can create a new one from the web to also use with our class. So remember that we created our folder for the year, and inside that folder we created a folder to house these template files that we are going to use. So let's go ahead and open that folder. And like I mentioned, we're going to start by uploading something that we already have. So there's a couple ways to do it. I can first go to upload, click on the drop down and choose files, or I can actually go to my Finder on my laptop and also navigate to where I have that file, and I can click and drag it into my OneDrive. So as long as I see that little green plus, if I'm dragging a file in, when that green plus is there, it's going to show me that it's going to add it, and it'll tell you it's uploading, and this one was not a big file, so it only took a couple of seconds to add. So now that this is here, I can just click if I want to open it to see it. I have my title, I have an instruction slide, and then I have a couple of slides that I would like my students to work through. So this one again was something that I already had made. It was saved on my computer and I uploaded it into my OneDrive. Now if I'm in my OneDrive and I want to start new, I'm still in that templates folder. At the top here, I have the option of creating a new document. So I can go to new and I can choose Word, Excel, or PowerPoint. Those are going to be the ones that I can assign to have my students work through, and it'll create an independent copy for them to do. So I'm going to again go to PowerPoint. Once it opens, one of the very first things that you'll want to do is make sure to name your document. It is going to auto-save, so you saw that it opened up and went through the process and it says it's saved, but I want to click where it says presentation and give it a name. As soon as I give it a name, at least I know that that is set and ready to go. If I don't, then it's going to always default to presentation 1, 2, 3, 4, however many don't have a specific name that's been assigned to them. So we're going to start real quick by adding a title slide. And what you're going to notice is when you begin to add things in this space, it's going to auto-generate some designer options here for you on the side. So you can choose to set something already for your students, and they can always go through the process of changing it if they would like to personalize it as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just choose this one for now. It's going to apply that design to my slides. And then I want to make sure that I go into new slide and at least have some sort of directions of what I want the students to do. So I can choose either a title slide, a blank slide, title only, whichever one I want to start off with. If I want to have a picture or something else in it, I can always add that later. So I'm going to choose title only. And remember, it's going to default to some of the same things that come up in that designer. If you want to change it, you can always change that as well. So I'm just going to give that a title. Remember, you can still personalize and move this around if needed, and you can always delete something that you don't want. So this is part of the design, so I cannot delete it, but if I wanted to go through and make some changes to it, I can use the designer for that. If I needed to add anything specific under insert, I can add pictures, shapes, icons, text boxes here. So I can go in and add my directions. I can say something like on the next few slides, add in an image to identify the part of the plant. So once you have your directions, you can go ahead and again add any slides that you would like. So let's say I did want to give the kids a little bit of a guide of what needed to be on each slide. I can go in and add blank slide. So if I have a blank slide, it's a little bit easier for me to set up what I would like on it. And let's say that I want to have a text box and I want this to be the flowers. So you can put as little or as much as you want to have as a guide for your students. It's all going to be based on the directions that you include for the activity. So I can at least give the titles at the top of these, and I can always right click and duplicate this slide, so I already have my text box ready to go. And then the students, once they're assigned the document, they can go through the process of going into insert, maybe going into pictures, and there's options for stock images and Bing images search. So you can go through and have them do that, and then they can use the shapes. If they wanted to use an arrow to point, a text box to label, all of those things can be done on their end once you have assigned the assignment and they complete it on their version.